leadership and career progression. Now, this is a very broad topic, and what I'm going to try and do is apply it more to technology companies, but any of these leadership principles could apply to anyone in any industry. Now, this video was going to be an internal video just for our staff at Flying Donkey. As I worked through the research on this video, I thought it might be helpful to someone out there, so we're sharing it publicly with everyone. All right, I came across Jamie on Twitter, or X as it's now called, and he summarized what I think is a really good way to look at leadership. To get ahead in the workplace, improve as a leader. As the saying goes, people quit bosses, not companies. Poor bosses cause high attrition, work goes unfinished, clients leave with star performers. Companies will pay to plug the gap in leadership skills. Now, I think the second line is probably the most important one here. Bosses quit people and not companies. Now, what this means is, and this is where you'll get different answers, if you ask someone how it is to work at Google, there is going to be some impact as the company as a whole. But generally speaking, it's going to be that day-to-day manager that you're working with, or that leader that you're working with, that's going to actually make the most impact on your business. So when you're looking at trying to be a leader, it's trying to make a good place for your direct reports to work. And if every leader does that, then the business as a whole will move forward. Now, at the same time, Jamie says another great thing that I want to bring in is delegation. Leaders do not do all the work. They understand what their strengths and weaknesses are. It's the job of a leader to find whom can perform the job the best. Trust your people to get the job done. That's what you hired them for. Now, again, this all sounds fairly straightforward, but delegation by leadership, in my experience, is something that's really hard to do. People struggle because what they happen is over their career, they have been the people who do things. But if you want to move forward into leadership, what you have to do is delegate the tasks. Find people that do them as good or better than you and give those tasks to them. They might need some guidance, they might need some assistance, but what you're trying to do is upskill them and free up time for yourself. Go do more leadership pieces with other people. All right, I came across another article about leadership, and while those 2 points previously by Jason were very important, and I feel they're the overall arching piece for leadership, I want to run through sort of 10 to 12 quick examples of really key things that you can work on, and these are probably more actionable pieces you can put into your day-to-day life. Number 1, offer solutions, not problems. Easy thing to say, harder thing to do, but when you're coming to a meeting, make sure you're offering a solution and not a problem. Number 2, no agenda, no meeting. This is publicized heavily by Amazon and AWS. Essentially, they must have an agenda before they go into a meeting. I'm sure you've been in multiple meetings where there's been no agenda and the meeting just waffles along. There must be an agenda, there must be minutes taken, otherwise there's no meeting. Obsess over details. This is something that can become a bit lost when becoming leadership because you get detached from the details, but the best leaders are still involved in the details. Even though you're concentrating on training and upskilling your staff, what you need to do is still be in the details. Once you lose your concept of the details, your strengths become less important. So make sure you obsess over the details because that's what other people won't do. Over communicate. This is a huge one and one that we push really high at Flying Donkey. You literally cannot over communicate. Make sure when you share a message, it's fully contextual in the fact that it has all the information that someone needs to read the thing. Recap some previous conversations, ask the question, provide all the evidence that you need in that one thing so that the person can read the message or read the email and respond only for the information in that message. Over communicating, it can't be stressed enough. It is impossible to over communicate. Treat feedback like a gift. And this one's a hard one. I probably put this a different way. When someone's giving you feedback, don't take it personally. Or when feedback is given to you, look at the positives. They're trying to give you criticisms. And if you take that criticism positively, you can become an improving person over time. So if you're as a boss or a leader and you're saying that you're working your staff too hard, that's not a criticism for you. They're giving you feedback. Or if you say that you raise your voice too much, or you're talking the wrong way, try to take this on and see what you can do to fix that thing. So if you raise your voice too much, maybe plan to lower your voice or to speak in a different way. I see too many people take offense to feedback. And the reason they do that is because the way it's delivered is not in the best way. But if you as a leader can look above that, and when feedback is given to you, you take it on board and improve, essentially it's a cheat code to ever incremental improvements. Leadership is learned. Now, this is one I have a lot of conversation with internally with my guys, and I also have a talk with clients. People think they're either a leader or not, but this is completely false. Everyone can learn to be a leader. Yes, some people are more naturally attuned to it than others, but like sport or like anything else, you can train to be a leader. And some of these points you can take in mind and do training exercises, but being a leader is about training and working at it, and over time you will improve. Value integrity above all. Again here, this is sort of just saying you're going to do what you're going to do, and also owning up to when your mistakes. Everyone's going to make mistakes, everyone's not going to be able to do what they're going to do, but when those situations happen, own up to it, tell the mistakes you made, and propose that solution. As we said before, being a leader is about taking on the responsibility and moving to the next stage, taking that feedback on board and getting to the next level. Reverse engineer your results. Again here, sometimes in life, results just happen because of doing actions and you don't really know what's going on. So once you get a result that you want, look at actually how you did that and look back. This is actually very common in the agile methodology in software development, where we do retrospective on sprints, and that is looking at what we've done through the sprint and what went well and what didn't. And if you can do this personally on your life and in your leadership, then you can actually improve overall as well. Never be the bottleneck. And this is one I really try and practice myself. If something comes to me, I'm either going to do it straight away or I'm going to delegate to someone else to move forward. Make sure the bottleneck is not with me and that things move forward, because you start being the bottleneck, what happens is that people will start going around you. And if people start going around you, then you're not being a true leader. So never be the bottleneck is a good mantra to live by. And it goes back to that point we talked about delegation. Either do it yourself, get into the details, or delegate to someone else who knows how to do it, but keep the process moving. And finally, I'm going to sort of join together these last two, which is being an individual contributor and do the work. Being a leader is not about just sitting there and watching the troops, but you also have to get in and do the work. If you're in there alongside the troops doing some of the work, they're going to look up to you a lot more. This is a very fine line because obviously there is delegating and doing, and you can't just be in the trenches doing work all the time. You also have to be out there delegating and moving things forward. But I have seen some leaders get lost where they don't do any of the work. They lose from the detail, they don't know what's going on, and then they lose respect to their team. It's very important that you still do some of the work to keep yourself current and working alongside the people in your team. All right, I tried to work out the best way to summarize this video, and I actually came across a very interesting review of Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso is obviously a TV show on Apple Plus set in London about a soccer coach. And Ted Lasso actually embodies a lot of the great leadership skills, and I'll link the video below. But in summary, I'll bring up the 7 points that essentially go through in this video, and I recommend you do watch it because it's actually presented in a very good way. Number 1, make everyone feel important and they matter. Be a team player, encourage and create lieutenants, solicit and accept feedback, have empathy, celebrate other people's wins, create belief, and don't deny reality. So essentially, that is how to be a great leader. A lot of them are very generic, but I'm hoping some of these dot points will help you be a better leader. Here at Flying Donkey, we try and help our leaders improve every day and every month, and that builds a better key team culture. That allows us to deliver better for our clients, and I think you as clients can also become better as leaders. I can always improve as a leader, you can always improve as a leader, everyone can always improve as a leader, but it's something that not everyone works on. I'd highly recommend you try and work on some of these dot points, take them away, and just work on one per month. If you need some leadership assistance or your project is not on the way, feel free to reach out here at Flying Donkey. We'll be happy to answer some questions or help guide you on your path to a successful software project.